here. Oh, let your heart be here. Come on home and let yourself heal. You could sleep for 1,000 years. I won't let you disappear. Let your heart be here. I feel it in my ribs. I feel it in my soul. The pulse just grows so loud and so clear. Let your heart be here. I feel it in my ribs. I feel it in my soul. The pulse just grows so loud and so clear. Let your heart be here. Oh, let your heart be here. Shabbat Shalom. You don't have these words anywhere. Anywhere.
Maybe in your mind.
In your heart, in your ribs, in your soul, you do. So follow me. It starts, this is the chorus, and that's what matters most. I feel it in my ribs. Just try that. I feel it in my ribs. Very good. I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my soul. The pulse just grows. Can you try that? The pulse just grows. This is my favorite part. So loud and so clear. So loud. So loud and so clear. Now this is the best part. You ready? Hi, Cantor Katzman. Oh, mwah. Let your heart beat here. Try that. Let your heart be here. Oh, let your heart be here. I was telling Rabbi Gelman, you know how sometimes there's like, it's a very, 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 very Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. It's a very, very dashboard confessional Shabbat. Okay? And that's what it is. So here we're going to start, and I know that you're going to sing loud all over Chicago. Are you ready? Come on home and let yourself heal. You could sleep for 1,000 years. I won't let you disappear. Let your heart be here. Here we go. I feel it in my ribs. I feel it in my soul. The pulse just grows so loud and so clear. So loud and so clear. Let your heart be here. Yeah, you can yell it out. Let your heart be here. I feel it in my ribs. I feel it in my ribs. I feel it in my soul. The pulse just grows so loud and so clear. Let Shabbat Shalom.
It is always such a spectacular Shabbat when we start with like early 2000s emo rock. It's so good.
I may have The Cure next week. You better be careful.
Oh, great. Newfound Glory the week after. And how awesome it is to be here, to be celebrating Shabbat together. Those who are here in our temple, Sholom space, physically, and those who are joining us on Zoom. It is such a pleasure and incredible to build this community together. Because what a week and a little bit more we've got ahead of us. Let's start backwards. In 1 week and 2 days, from right now, we're going to be gathering together to bring light into the darkness as we light that first candle of Shabbat. I don't believe that's only a week and 2 days away. It's crazy. 2 days before that, we're going to celebrate Shabbat once again. 1 day before that, of course, we will gather together for the purpose of giving thanks. And thankfulness is part of all of those experiences. We're thankful for a band of Jewish warriors gathered in strength to fight for their ability to live their Jewish lives out loud. We're thankful every week on Shabbat for this day that is separated from the rest so that we can rest. And of course, on Thanksgiving, appreciating all the blessings that we have. But we have another holy day before we get to those holy days. And tomorrow marks the Transgender Day of Remembrance. Every November 20th, transgender people and allies gather around the world to memorialize and remember the victims of transphobic violence. And we give thanks that each and every year that passes from the last day of Trans Day of Remembrance, each year we work hard to live in a hopefully it's much more accepting and affirming world. And we do that all while remembering those whose blessings we all bring into the world whenever we do those acts of justice and of love, giving thanks for the blessings we have in so many ways in the next number of days. But first, here we are on Shabbat, bringing the light into the darkness, especially on cold winter, almost winter days. And to help us bring that light and that warmth into this Shabbat, we're going to invite up Sam and Zachary Schwartz and the rest of their family with Jody Schwartz and David and their younger brother, Andrew. As we are going to open up our Siddur, our prayer book, whether it's one that we're holding or one that we are looking at digitally on Zoom, to page 120 for the lighting of our Shabbat
You're my
lights.
matriarch. This whole Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu u'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Now, Sam and Zachary, you're going to join us up in the center here for our Kiddush blessing, recognizing the holiness of this day, as we are going to join on page 123 as we rise in body or in spirit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uratzon hinhilanu zikaro lamaaseh bereshit. Ki yom tehila lemakra kodesh zecher letzia mitzrayim ki danu becharta v'chotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim u'shabbat kodecha Ve'ahava ratzon hinhiltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, gentlemen. Beautifully, beautifully done.
Guys, thank you so much. Whoa. All right. Okay.
And that grape juice has been hanging out there for a long time, so it might be, no. We may be seated. On page 138, we find the words of Lecha Dodi, celebrating, welcoming the Sabbath love as we will do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, rising on the 9th verse and turning towards the entrance to welcome in the Shabbat.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Shomor nizamor v'nibor echad yishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad u'shemu tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nechad ki mekor ha'bracha merosh nikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machashava techila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki la'orech uri 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 shir daveri kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Oh, v'shalom hatzeret ba'ala gam b'simcha ובצהלה רוח אמוני הסגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
it. We turn ahead a few pages, page 142, welcoming in those Shabbat angels.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashaveh, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
On page 146, as we look at our Baruch Hu, it is the moment that we say, yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm ready. My week has been leading up to this moment of entering the heart of our prayer service. We rise on page 146 in body or in spirit.
Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Now, our third graders who are here, we want to invite you up with your families that you have come with, to join us up here on the bima, to help us lead those 6 words at the core of our service, the Shema. So all of our third graders.
Their parents too.
So what's wonderful too is that I see that we have some other children who are here with us tonight. And if you wanted to come up to the bima, we would love to have you. You can come up with your parents too if you'd like.
Come on up.
So that everyone can feel welcome.
Really fun.
Oh my
really
gosh.
fun to be up here.
You know what's so fun too is that we have
me.
Cantor Katzman. Maybe you'd help for some of your incredible students to feel like they'd like to come up as well.
And in addition, our friends on Zoom, our third graders and families on
Jody,
Zoom who are
thank
joining
you.
to lead as well.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Hi, guys. You're going to help me with something that we do every Sunday together at Tefillah. When we say, "Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one." Oh, I see you. Hello.
We love seeing you at home too. We're so glad that you're going
And
to
our
help to lead us tonight.
Our favorite third grader.
Oh, you know what? That's such a good idea, Emmett. Emmett said, I got to go get my kippah. We're doing something right. Oh, my goodness, Emmett. You made my whole night. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, look at this crew. So we start out by saying, "Hear, O Israel, Adonai, Our God is one. And we say it over and over until we believe it and we know it and we feel it. And then we sing our Shema, and you can cover your eyes or you can close your eyes like we usually do. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Then we yell out, Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Then we say it very softly. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Thank you all. Toda Rabah.
Thank
We
you all
literally
so
couldn't
much.
do it without you. Cantor didn't remember the word, so it was very helpful. Thank
You
you
may
all.
be
You can
seated.
go have a
Thank you guys
seat.
very much for your presence. Thank you.
We may be seated.
Go students.
Because we're going to continue in the prayer book on page 154 with the words of Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
To prepare for Mi Chamocha on page 158, a poem by Jill Harkavy Friedman. Between the Shema and the Amidah, at the doorway between past and future, personal and communal, known and unknown, trust and fear, coming or going, stepping or standing. Do you jump in with joy? Do you hang on to what you know? Celebrate possibility? Or cling to what has been? The process of acknowledgement, appreciation, and wonder between gratitude and promise. Mi chamocha, who is like you?
Page 158. Lai 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 לפניך, וכיד משה ומרים, ואליעזר ועמו, ואליעזר ועמו, אדוני עמו, לעולם ועד, אדוני עמו, לעולם ועד.
On page 160 for Hashki Benu, I actually I say this prayer every night that I am home with my 6.5-month-old. This is part of his nighttime ritual, and I'm a little worried that when he gets older, that we're gonna sing Hashki Benu, and he's just gonna pass out in the middle of services. So if there are any young ones here who had that as part of their nighttime ritual, just fight it to stay awake for this, for our prayer over the evening.
You can nap and sing at the same time, okay? Do you? Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechai. Can I hear you? Oh, God. I'm mishearing us. Ushmat Tzeitzenu Moeinu Lechaim Ushalom Me'atan Yadonai. Just you. You ready? Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim.
Page 164, we rise for the Amidah on the following even pages.
Would you repeat after me? Hi, li, 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 li. Li, 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 li. Li, 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 li. Hi, li, 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 li. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, let my mouth together may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, Leman Shemo v'Yahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim b'chesed, Mechayeh hakol b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofech cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato Lishenei Achbar, Mi Chamocha B'Geburot, Umido Melech, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata L'Hachayot HaKol. Baruch Ata Adonai Mechayeh HaKol. Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kedoshim B'Chol Yom Yahallelu Chasela. Baruch Ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
That final word, kadosh, meaning holiness, but ending with that sound of inner quiet and inner peace, is how we continue our Amidah in our own private silent prayer and meditation. And when you feel ready, you may be seated.
Oseh Shalom Bimroma, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Shalom Imromam, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel,
We think about those who are in that really active role of healing. And of course, there are so many doctors, nurses, caretakers who are active in helping others to heal, but also to heal yourself is truly an active act, one that takes work. Might take rehab, it might take therapy, it might take a lot of effort that make ourselves whole. And so those of us who are blessed with that blessing of wholeness, even for just this moment, we think about those who are working on healing. Our Temple Sholom community, and first we'll read the names that have been submitted. We'll open up to our friends on Zoom to share any names, and then we'll solicit any names from here in our space. We're thinking of Sarah Golub, Louise Chapman, Anthony Barnes, Mary Spriggs, Marcella Wilson and family, Jim Hardy, Max Cohn, Leanne Edwards, Winifred Halsey, Joan Stockhoff, Hildy Leibowitz, Heidi Habs, Gordon Campbell, Daniel Weinzierl, Luba Kosterezevsky, Justo Gonzalez Jr., and Carlos Tabares, Marcelo Wilson and family, Mark Gotthelf, Thelma Spill, Bob Beecher, Angelina and her family, Lori Deitz and Debbie Willage, Bob Davis, Hayden Hall, Danny Altz, Marion Kramer, Susan Levine, and Lael Lubing, Ruth Oppler and Chava Borzak, Anna Sikorsky, and George Matalbano, and Holly Matalbano, and Rachel Bronson and Samantha Klug and family, and Pauline Lane, Jessa Lynn Harrington and family, Susan White Smith, and Helene Marks, and Anna Sarah Kaplan, Terry Baudelat and Merle Levine, Don Sable, Jim Clemens, Barbara and David Sussman, and Pam Zolnay, Nina Silverstein, Flo Bernberg and Diane Tetmeyer, Marianne and Rick, Louis Venegas, Jonathan Spitz, Elaine Baddock, and Javier Escalante, Steve Wax, Sue Miller, Molly Kurt, and Max Glazer, and Paul Gershon, Fred Danhauser, and Alex and Jamie and family, and Nick Adams and Roberta Sonino, Deborah Siegel and Phil Forbes, and Tammy Mormino, Jeanette Ponder and the Marshy Soto family, Jennifer Hunter, and Cheryl Tanita and Avner Drucker, and Esther Dokarker and Dee Dee Cohen, Sherry Silver, Alex Jamie, Debbie Willage, and Lori Deitz, Dan, Dennis, June, and Janine, Greg Sessler and Greg Bogus, Corley Bloomfeld, and Caleb. And I believe we'll be able to hear if any of our friends on Zoom, our community on Zoom, have names to offer. You should be unmuted to be able to share. All right.
Myrna Kaufman.
Oh, Laura. Okay.
Chuck Abrams. Marcy Levine.
Tri-County.
And any name.
Paul Gleicher.
And any names here in our space. Think about all of those in that need of healing as we pray the words of Misha Berach, which can be found on page 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Bor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Misha Berach Imotenu Bor HaBracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shleima, the renewal of body, and let us say, Amen.
And I know that there are some of us who were born in the month of Kislev. Some of us have November birthdays, and so we invite all those who have November birthdays either to come on up to the bima or let yourself be spotlighted here because we want to be able to celebrate you. So those of you who have birthdays in the month of November, we invite you to come, let's come just right here in the front of the bima. I know there are more of you. I can sense it. I just know. All right, but we have these wonderful people here, and we might be able to see some of those who are online. I want to say this to you. I love that you have birthdays in the Hebrew month, in the month of Kislev. So we have this time in which there is greater darkness in the days, and yet your birthdays bring us light. And so, and we know at the end of this month, we're going to celebrate the miracles of our people. I want to tell you, I know you both, you're miracles to our people. And so on this Shabbat, I'll invite the cantor to join me here. Oh, Rabbi Gelman, you might as well come too, please. Hi. As we have the honor of blessing you on this Shabbat, and we invite you all to join us as well in these words of thanksgiving, the Shehachianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. 80. Wow. Amazing. Well, Shabbat Shalom. I am not sure if any of you who are here this evening were here when Rabbi Pedikowski delivered his sermon on the 18 doors of the synagogue. Was anybody here? Cantor Katzman, I know you were here. Oh, and it looks like you've got some nods in this little area over here. Well, I'll say that I was not. But when I arrived here 14 years ago, I heard about it. People were so moved by the notion that there are all of these doors of holiness and acceptance and hope and love and divine inspiration. 18 doors outside this beautiful building, just waiting to be opened by us. So of course, after hearing this 14 years ago when I arrived, what did I do? I walked around the perimeter of the building, counting the doors. Now let's just say that the number 18 is wonderful rabbinic rhetoric. 18, the number of life, if not the exact number of doors. Though knowing our brilliant and compassionate Rabbi Pedikowski, he may yet teach me the Talmudic way to parse the number of doors so that I get to the number 18. Now, as I was making this lap, I noticed something next to these doors. Small blank tablets, miniature versions of the tablets given by God to Moses at Mount Sinai, just about 8 inches high. And I toyed at that time with giving a sermon about these blank tablets, waiting for our hand, the way that God waited for the hand of Moses to inscribe these sets of tablets with our hopes and our dreams, and the ways we would commit ourselves to living lives of dignity and graciousness, gratitude and humility. In short, the way we would commit to living lives of holiness. And I never did get around to writing that sermon, but it's rattled around in my head and my heart for over a decade. So this past week, when I found out that someone defaced those blank tablets. And someone actually took a marker and marked on them around our building, our home. Well, I was enraged. These were supposed to house our dreams and our aspirations, and that someone would desecrate them. Well, it felt like a violation, not only of our beautiful building, but of my own self, all of ourselves. This incident happened last Shabbat morning at such a potent time, a liminal time, at the break of dawn. The way that the Torah describes this time of day is alot hashachar, literally at the lifting of the darkness. Last week, our decorative tablets near the doors around our building were defaced at that liminal time, at the break of dawn. And this week, in the light of day, I find myself wrestling with the world in which we find ourselves. And of course, for me to wrest meaning from this world, I look to our ultimate biblical wrestler, Jacob. He knows and knew what it was to wrestle with beings divine and human and to prevail. This week, we find him preparing to meet up with his brother Esau at the beginning of our parashah, at the beginning of this week's Torah portion. And he's anxious and afraid, knowing that with his brother Esau, whom he tricked out of the birthright, is an army of 400 people. So Jacob sent his family to safety along with all of his possessions. And then, near the river Jabbok, Jacob was left alone. V'ya'avek ish imo ad alot hashachar. And a man, a being, maybe Esau's guardian angel, maybe Esau himself, maybe Jacob's shadow self, maybe God, wrestled with Jacob until the break of dawn. And when that being realized that they had not prevailed, well, that man or being or Esau's angel or maybe Esau or maybe Jacob or maybe God wrenched Jacob's hip. And the being tried to leave, for dawn was breaking, but Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. So Jacob's fellow wrestler said to him, your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Yisrael, for you have striven with beings divine and human and have prevailed. And Jacob named that place Peniel, the face of God, meaning I have seen a divine being face to face, and yet my life has been preserved. V'yizrach lo hashemesh, and the sun rose upon Jacob as he passed Penuel, even though he was limping on his hip. The breaking of dawn is a liminal time when the outcome of the wrestling match was still uncertain. But when the sun finally rose, our story concludes with a message of resilience. Jacob takes in the sunrise with gratitude, really realizing that though his life and his destiny has been and will be one of wrestling, through it all, he will witness the face of God and find blessing. This past week, when the sun rose, we witnessed the scrubbing of those tablets clean. Yet somehow, just not the same. Like Jacob, we limp along. But from our patriarch, who becomes our namesake, Yisrael, we learn to demand blessings from life. We are resilient. The great commentator, Sforno, taught that when Jacob passed Penuel still limping, the sun shone and it healed him. And Sforno goes on to say that similarly, in the time to come, the sun of redemption will shine and heal the righteous. So those tablets that are still on our building, those tablets within our own hearts, are waiting for us still to inscribe them with our dreams, our aspirations, our commitment to live lives of dignity, our commitment to make sure that others are able to live lives of dignity. We live lives of gratitude and humility if we live like Jacob. In short, we still may live lives of holiness. We, wrestlers in the night, who wait for the sun to shine as we sow our seeds of light and of righteousness.
Or zarua hatzadik uyeshrele simcha. Or zarua latzadik uyeshrele
Well, I believe that as we are a resilient people, we are a people who plan.
Oh yeah, and party.
And party and celebrate and come together and gather. I want to say again to those third grade families, how wonderful to spend Shabbat with you. And I just have to say this to Jay Rappaport, our Director of Lifelong Learning. One of my favorite things that I did all week was Wednesday, I came in to lead a meditation with our high school students. But I came in early enough, so there were all of these different parents gathered. I'm trying to see if any of you were there, but in the parking lot. And it was so wonderful to hear how much people were loving learning here and how much I heard about how, here might be some of those, where these parents were telling me what a joy it was that one specifically said that there's no other place where his son tries hard. But here at Temple Sholom, he loved being able to share that he had learned the Ve'ahavta and was so proud to share it. I mean, talk about generation to generation and how we pass on these teachings to our children. So, Jay, from all of us, thank you. Thank you, Jay.
And talking about Jay and the incredible work of our religious school, that there is no religious school on November 24th or 28th. And the Shabbat in the middle of there on November 26th is just going to be virtual. So we'll all join together on Zoom for that Shabbat.
Well, and I believe that this Sunday we're in for a treat at 11 a.m. for our adult learners, where we have the opportunity to learn with Carol Salas about Roy Lichtenstein, a look at the artist's aesthetic beyond the superficial pop label. We've been reading a lot about him lately, and so I think it'll be wonderful to have a course in which we get to learn a little bit more about his depth of character.
And also on Sunday, November 21st at 12:30 p.m. with our Shalem group, our Embracing Racial and Ethnic Diversity group, they're going to be expanding the table. It's a partnership with our community and local chefs that will focus on the intersection of our holidays, our foods, our cultural traditions from Jewish communities across the whole world. So I think that's going to be quite fascinating.
Yeah, and Yona Dakarkar is going to be leading us and sharing some special recipes. We can hardly wait for that.
And on the next Sunday after that, we already talked about it being Hanukkah like really soon. We're going to gather together as a Temple Sholom family out in the Temple Sholom parking lot to light that first candle of Hanukkah. But don't worry, we're going to help you stay warm with hot chocolate and treats and games. The event's free, but register.
Will we have some sufganiyot? Are we going to have any of those beautiful Hanukkah donuts?
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Those warm me up.
And we'll also announce now that Giving Tuesday is coming. So we look forward to sharing with you all these opportunities to help support this beautiful community in ways that are accessible to you. You'll hear much more about it in the days to come. And finally, Cantor, here we are. Did you want to share this last?
I'm pretty excited about this one because I love our president of our synagogue. This is an opportunity to meet our board president, the president of our community. Sherry Weil is a really special, extraordinary person. And I will say that since she has become the president of our temple, I have become even happier at my pulpit. So this is an opportunity on Sunday, December 5th at 9:30 a.m. The Adult Education Committee invites you to participate in a special talk with our Temple Sholom President, Sherry Weil, and she'll be speaking about the new visioning and strategic planning process at Temple, which we are doing rigorously like right now, and it's very exciting. And she'll be answering questions that congregants may have, and it'll be a great opportunity for you to know our Temple President and for you to know our goals and our visions for our future together.
Oh, I just love that. And I just want to say to Jed Silberg, to Fred Lane, to Sandy Kaufman, to Mark Kaufman, our past presidents, we realize that you paved the way for Sherry Weil and for Cantor's happiness this evening. So we just want to give you a little bit of credit and thanks.
Happy because Cantor's going to be here for a long time.
I love that.
That's
Thank
why.
God. We're happy about that too. And so keeping in mind our visions of the future and looking for that light and sun to shine upon us and show us the way, we turn to the bottom of page 586 as we rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כשלוחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
And as we come to our Kaddish Yatom, our Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598, I want to call attention to a piece of this week's Torah portion about that wrestling that's done. The word for that wrestling is ya'avek, which literally means almost to get into a dust up, that it's about the dust that they kind of kick up as they're wrestling. And yet also, there's the notion that the rabbis read into this, that it actually could also be yehabek, which means to embrace and to be intertwined. And I know that as we are coming to these days where we're going to celebrate both Thanksgiving and our Festival of Light, I know that there are those of us who are wrestling with being in a time of grief, of mourning those whom we've lost, of missing them even as we remember them and remember their light. And so on this Shabbat, We remember those who recently passed from this earth. Melvin Potash, Elaine Barson, Richard Samuels, and Ida Lessman. We also mark those yard sites on this Shabbat of people who died in this season in years past. James Bartness, Sanford Berg, Floanne Scalbina, Janice Cherney, Morris Dansker, Gordon DeCook. This is last week's list.
I was so proud of myself that I found it on my phone. It's the most technical thing I've ever done.
I'll just say this, those people are worth remembering again
Yeah.
and again and again. And so we are remembering as well Fritz Gutman, Dale Skoda, Sherry Kamiko Goodman, Edward Farber, Charlie Sullivan, Jerome Seth Abraham, Danny Price, Howard Vihone, Sandra Goinshore, the victims of Kyle Rittenhouse, Irving Newman, Perry Kaminsky, Donald Fife, Brian Lasser, Michael Cooper, and Marion Holzer. If there are others you are remembering, thank you. We'll share their names after we also hear our beloved community members whose lives were a blessing to us and whom we remember on this Shabbat. We remember Ida O-ring Lessman, Carrie Bade, Richard Samuels, Elaine Barson, and Melvin Potash. We also mark the yard site of Joseph Arnove, Julius Barter, Jolly Benek, Joan Blutter, Beverly Bodker, Daniel Baumchill, Clara Brown, Louis Petita, Dorothy Dansker, Sam Farsht, Morris Fisher, Lawrence Friedman, Doris Goldberg, Marvin Gordon, Marion Holzer, Maxine B. Inlander, Abdul Rahman Peter Kassig, Jules Katz, Sarah Katzman, Lonnie Klein, Norman Cobert, Renee Kurjan, Isidore Levine, Sophie Levy, Robert Libben, Joan Snyder Lewison, Robert London, Robert David London, Myra Manko, Rebecca Neuschatz, Carol C. Postelnick, Marilyn K. Potter, Julius Rabai, Saul Reifler, Robert H. Rolski, Marvin Rosenblum, Sidney Savitz, Richard Schreier, Dolores Sherman, Isidore Siegel, Jacob Takath, and Bertha Wolf. There are others you are remembering. I invite you to say their name. And hopefully the volume has been regulated so that if there are those who want to share names from home, please do so now.
Minnie Rosenstein.
Go on.
William Robinson,
Sylvia Sorkin,
Rita Mormina,
D. Lightman,
Again, the page for Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, is on page 598.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh.
V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shmei d'kudusha, b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, ta'amiran b'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Amen.
Cantor, how are we going to close this evening?
Well, we are going to have to draw our attention over to that beautiful corner there where we have our director of lifelong learning. I thought it would be really nice for our Shabbat Mishpacha, and you could just sit for a moment, that Jay would share with us our closing song. You're such an essential part of our team and our family here. So Jay, take us away as we close. Uh-oh, you might need mine, my friend. Here. Love to give their mics away, trust me.
Jay, is this a dancing tune or is this a more quiet?
I think there could be a little movement in this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If there are children who want to get a little movement up on the bima,
Oh yeah, we could
you
definitely
are
do that.
definitely welcome up here now. If that's helpful.
So I thought, because it's so nice to be together in person and online. This hybrid is so cool. And it's our first Shabbat Mishpacha where we really get to do this. So it's a special occasion. And I thought it would be really fun to celebrate that by just saying out loud and singing out loud that it's so nice to be together, however we're together. And this is easy because if you've never heard it, you could just repeat after me. And kids, if you want to dance, the bima is yours. We are together, it's so nice to be together, 'cause when we are together, it's so good. Try it with me. We are together, it's so nice to be together, 'cause when we are together, it's so good. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Try it with me. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov. Sing it with us. Hine matov. I clap my hands. I move my soul. Clap with us. I clap my hands. I move my soul. Back to the beginning. Sing with me. We are together. It's so nice to be together. 'Cause when we are together, it's so good. We are together. It's so nice to be together. 'Cause when we are together, it's so good.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So that's why.
Yeah. Yeah.